Not today.
Okay, says I'm live too, so let me see if I can add Doogie.
Yeah, it was good, Todd. We already mentioned it. Maybe you should listen back. Let's see.
We talked about the beer and how it's fantastic, guys.
Yeah.
It makes me want to sing Adele.
I did actually on the way home. I blasted Adele.
Oh, I played it all day before. Okay, I'm live too. Is it showing us to have 2 lives?
I don't know. It's not letting me add him at all.
I know. Can you just end the live? All right,
Does it allow him?
I can't. Well, nobody's watching me, so I don't know. Guys, I'm live now on DPX Radio. Can we?
So waiting for my 6-pack in the mail.
Well, they're not bottled or canned sherries. They're gonna have to come get a growler.
Yeah.
You gotta X that out. It's the only way.
I think it'll just be the same way.
Nope. I gotta request. Oh, it's working on mine.
Okay.
Doogie doesn't like you. Hi, Doogie. Try and get my charger.
Hey, what's up?
Doogie! All right, guys, we're ending this one. I have Doogie, see? I have Doogie.
I don't know why it... That's okay.
I don't know. Lauren's phone didn't want to add you.
I don't know. You sent a request and it came up, so I hit the button, and there we are.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Sitting in the dark.
Good. Are you doing something fun right now?
Oh, yeah, I'm talking to you all.
Oh, good. So I'm just going to hold my phone because the tripod's not working out. So I'm just going to hold it in my hand. Bear with us here.
I can put him on a tripod.
We apologize for all the technical difficulties. But we're so excited to finally have you on with us.
Oh, thank you.
So we're having a special episode tonight of Detroit Paranormal Live. Sorry, I'm putting you on a tripod. Oh, it won't let me. It only let me do it like this. How's this going? Okay, there. We're good.
All right.
So, I mean, there's so many different things to talk about right now. What have you and the guys been up to lately?
We've been running crazy here lately. We've been doing a whole lot of events, trying to do things around our hometown, and just try to keep up with life in general, just hanging out, with our families and that kind of thing, and still trying to keep the TWC rolling.
Yeah, I saw on your website, you guys have a lot of different events listed, and super cool that a lot of them are sold out, like Bobby Mackey's sold out. The one that's coming up the soonest, I think it was April 20th, sold out. And you guys are going to Hawaii?
The other guys are going to Hawaii. I got away with that once, but my wife, she's not going to let me go there again without her. And I'm also,
I get it.
Yeah. So I'm not going to take that risk again because when I come back, I may not be living here.
So, loved the last season of Haunted Towns. Can we look forward to another one?
We're hoping so. Right now, Discovery is they bought out the Scripps Network, so everything's tied up in the government right now, so they're not picking up any new episodes that they didn't pick up the year before. So we're just kind of in a holding pattern right now and hoping that things are going to come around so you can have a season 2, 3, 4, and all the way up 20 seasons of Haunted Towns, we hope.
Yeah, I love it. I love the show. So how'd you guys go about picking the different locations that you featured on the last season? Because you're a case manager, right?
What's that?
You're one of the you're the case manager and co-founder.
Yes. Well, a lot of times that goes in, especially when you go into TV, because there's a whole lot of red tape getting into different places sometimes, especially with, as we roll in as being a big outfit instead of just a team coming in. We kind of pull out our scroll, just like, and this is our main places we want to hit. Well, us and the network get together. We make the phone calls to see where we can get in, who don't want there. Sometimes they don't want a big, production like TV coming in, but knock on wood, every place that we've wanted to get into so far, they've let us in, and we've been some very cool locations.
Yeah, very, very cool. So the last season of Haunted Towns, what would you say your favorite place that you went was?
I would have to say Salem. That place was absolutely amazing.
My favorite.
Yeah, I mean the witch trials and all that kind of stuff. Just learning the background on it and getting to go to some of the different places and locations were just absolutely amazing. And the activity that we had, Chris and I had an amazing time at the Thomas Barnard house. I was stuck up in that really, really
That's
dark
really
attic, I guess. And, I had some experiences there that I don't know if I'll ever have again.
Like what? Could you want to share?
Yeah, well, I was up in the attic of that place, and when we done the walk through earlier in the day, talking to the folks that own the place, I had this really crazy pressure in my chest. I get that sometimes when I walk into a place that there's some kind of activity, and when we come back in that night, it was just like something livened up. Chris and I were talking about we're going to do like an experiment. He's going to go floor to floor, and he wanted to start asking these things to do stuff to me, and and it started doing it, and it was the craziest thing that I'd ever experienced because number one, I didn't know that he was actually doing that experiment at the time. I was just sitting up there in the dark attic, trying to elicit some kind of response. And, he was asking it. And it was actually
I remember that.
So it was pretty wild. Am I coming through in a delay?
Yeah. Once in a while you break up, but you can still hear what you're saying.
Okay.
But that usually always happens. I have to tell you, Doogie, before we keep going, you have so much love coming in here from Australia.
Oh, awesome.
From your hometown. Jamie Lynn Vincent from your hometown.
Oh, what's up, Jamie Lynn?
Someone, Grace Davis or Chris Gear said fried chicken. I don't know if that means anything to you.
I love some fried chicken.
Oh, I bet it's nothing. Ours probably doesn't compare at all to what you guys got down there. So I followed you guys from Ghost Asylums to Haunted Towns, and the dynamic between all of you is so wonderful to watch.
Oh, well, thank you.
Because you guys play your different roles, but you work so well together as a team. And I know essentially you and Chris kind of formed what would be and to become Ghost Asylum. So what initially got you guys thinking about investigating in the first place?
I think the stories are a little different for both of us because I've been in the paranormal for 20 plus years. I guess you can say before it was cool and in the mainstream of things. But a lot of mine happened. We own 2 Civil War forts where I live. And I'd always heard stories growing up. Everybody in every town has a lady in white, but we have 2 tunnels. And
we have one.
Oh, really? You have a lady in white?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Like I said, it's the lady in white seems to be in everybody's hometown or somewhere across America, and that's kind of what got me into it. Things going on at some of my my I guess family's residence and different things like that, and I was just always really interested in it. And all of my buddies, there's like, I can't believe that you do this for a living now, because before, Chris and I had met to do the ghost hunting thing. I've known Chris forever, but a lot of my other buddies, we used to go out on the weekends and during the week and go spooking all the time. That was our thing, is to, ride around and go get scared, go to the old houses, abandoned houses, and see if we could get something to happen. So, I've been doing it a long time, and now it just came together. Chris and I met up. We used to be gym buddies back in the day, and then we just kind of spread out. We got families and whatnot, and we met back up one day when I was working at the hospital, and then TWC was really, really born from there.
Very cool. Very cool. So, I was just going to ask you, so based on what you just said. Oh, I don't want to get controversial, but another thing that I really like about you guys is your faith.
Mm-hmm.
And, you don't see a lot of that out there on these different shows, or even other groups that you meet that maybe aren't even on TV. Is it easy for you guys to maintain that strong faith and still do what you do?
I think so. I mean, it's been pretty easy for me. Sometimes that's not a key element in Hollywood, I guess you would say, in the TV world. They really don't care a whole lot about religion sometimes. It's in certain aspects, because it can turn viewers away, or it can gain you viewers. It can go either way. But we fought tooth and nail to keep religion in our show. And, every one of us are really faith-based. We don't push it on anybody. We just do our own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's how we feel we keep ourselves safe as we go out here and get in these crazy situations and these insane asylums and different situations that we put ourselves in. That's how we feel safe, going back to, what we call our Savior.
No, I'm really glad that you guys were able, you said you fought tooth and nail for that. I'm glad that you won the fight, so to speak.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, we fought hard. There was a chance of us not getting a TV show over it, and, they work with us. Destination America has been great in working with us, over that. They were the ones that finally, picked us up and run with us from there. So, I have to say they've been really great to us about the prayer and keeping all of our faith in our show.
Sherry wants to know how Sarah is, and that you get attachments to yourself a lot.
Well, I wouldn't say a lot. I have a lot of interactions with things. But apparently Sarah from the Thomas house seemed to have followed me for, I don't know, since last Halloween. And it's kind of died down here lately, so I don't know exactly where she set shop up, if she went back to the Thomas house or what's happened. But yeah, she was following me around to every location. And, I think, who did you say asked that question?
Sherry.
Oh, okay, Sherry. Yeah,
Sherry Hordick.
Yeah, she'd been at a few investigations with us where Sarah has showed up that was not at the Thomas house, and whatever it was would actually reference the Thomas house, and it said it followed me because I was like a father figure. So it's been really strange, but
I was gonna say, you remind her of somebody.
Yeah, apparently
like what I pick up on is like you remind her of somebody.
Right.
You're like a protector.
Yeah, I get that a lot for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse sometimes.
Well, I'd feel way more comfortable if you were investigating next to me.
Yeah, you say that until I run out like a girl, You'd be like,
well, I think we all have those moments, right?
Yeah.
Matt, I think I say his last name wrong, but I know him. Fiole says, hope to see y'all at Rosemont here soon, brother.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, man. We got another awesome event coming up. I'm actually trying to look here. Rosemont, July 28th. We got going on. You can jump on our page, TennesseeWraithChasers.com, and pick up some tickets. We've actually got 2 or 3, Octagon Hall, the Exchange Hotel in May, and like I said, Rosemont in July. It's an excellent place right here in our hometown, historical spot, and we always get a lot of activity there.
Awesome. And yeah, Matt's with Gateway Paranormal. Sorry.
Yeah. Gateway. Yeah.
So, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask about the attachments and everything. What do you do to help prevent that? When you go into a haunted location, do you carry stones with you? Do you say a prayer before you go in? How do you?
A lot of times,
anything besides prayer.
No, I pretty much I have a cross that I take with me everywhere that stays in my bag. A girl gave that to me many years ago, and I still have it to this day. And my uncle gave me this little red stone that he called it's the blood of Jesus, and I keep that in my bag that I take with me everywhere. Everybody gets
bloodstone.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody says, "Oh, what do you have in your man purse?" I'm like, that's where I keep all my Doogie goods and and all that stuff. So other than prayer and my cross and my little red rock of Jesus' blood, that's what I keep with me constantly.
Yeah, bloodstone's actually so cool. I have a big ring that's bloodstone, and if you get some are green and red, some are more red. But it goes back to say that, after Jesus was crucified and his blood ran down into the earth, it created this stone. So it's actually the blood of Jesus. So it's a very protective, very grounding stone and crystal. Well, it's one of my favorites.
Well, I have to say it's protected me all these crazy places that I've been. It's definitely been on my side for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You have people on here from Brazil. I don't know what they're saying, but they love you.
Hola.
Hola, Brazil. I've never been to Tennessee. I hope that I get to come down.
You're missing out. It's beautiful down there.
I know. I have to take a look at the events. We have so much going on too, but hopefully I can get down to one. But I saw all the Race Fest pictures. Were you at that event?
Oh yeah, we had that event turned out to be a little crazy headache for us. We had it sold out to go to OSPH, and Mike and Chris had went down a day early, and I'd stayed back, me and Brandon and Porter, because we had to take care of some things in town here before we went down. Well, they called me that Friday night and told me that they put padlocks on OSPH, and we were like, they knew I'd freak out. I thought they were joking with me because they know I'm the one that's going to freak out and lose my crap over it, and I was like, you can't be serious. And Mikey was like, yeah, I'm totally serious. I'm like, man, what are we going to do? We've got 150 people coming from all over the U.S., and what are we going to do? But I have to give out a shout out to the mayor down there in Old South Pittsburgh and Tracy City, because they bailed us out. They said, we're sorry we had to padlock this thing, but that's not you guys' fault. But they gave us like a fairgrounds, which ended up working out awesome for the big tailgate party. And then we got the old Grundy County High School, thanks to Chad Morin. He had some contacts down there, and it just kind of saved the day for us. I think everybody. Cool. We lost a few people. They were upset, but I mean, like we tried to tell them, I mean, there's nothing, it was out of our control, nothing we could do about it. When somebody tells you, 15 hours before your event that you just lost this, 12,000 square foot location, I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, there's a big mold problem there. That's pretty much why they shut it down.
I think it goes deeper than that, but our DPX went to there, and I think it was a week later after they investigated that it got shut down. Yeah, it was right after their
somebody actually called from that investigation to report the mold.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know what the backstory is. I know there's a lot of mudslinging going on, but I'm going to stay out of that.
Yeah. Me too.
I don't know what the the root cause is, but all I know is it's shut down indefinitely right now. So I really hope that place can get up and running, because that's our old stomping grounds. That's where Chris and I started out, really pushing TWC, sleeping on the nasty floor down there that the carpet used to be in. We did that a lot of times for a long time, trying to get TWC off the ground.
Yeah. So I kind of want to go back a little bit to Ghost Asylum. How is it working with Brandon and creating these devices to try to capture these spirit or entities? That's something, nobody else I've seen anyone else try to do. And it's always been very intriguing to me how his mind works and can come up with these things. And so how is it working with him on that stuff? Or seeing them or seeing them in real life?
Very dangerous. It was a concept that I had thrown around for a few years about how can you contain this energy. If it can get contained inside of an old piece of furniture, if it could get contained, in people taking stones or whatever, if that energy can get contained, well, why can't we contain them if they're trapped in the walls of these places and let them get out? And Brandon, with him being our mad scientist, and Chasey Ray as well, being a master builder himself, it's just one of those things. We'd all get together, talk about the different concepts going all the way back to, almost the beginning of time, I guess you would say, and on what people have talked about, biblical times all the way up to medieval times. They were very spiritual then, and what they thought contains, could contain spirits or conjure up things. So, it goes really deep, but him and Chasey getting together and actually trying to build these things, it's actually quite hysterical. But they come up with some awesome stuff, and luckily nobody's lost any body parts except for me, that finger there. But
seriously, are you joking?
No, I've got it. It's
there. Yeah, I was about to say.
It's really there.
Ryan Longthorne also just said that was one of his favorite parts, the mad inventions.
Oh yeah, it's awesome trying to come up with that stuff, because we actually, out of all those years of Ghost Asylum, we actually had a few that we thought worked, and if they didn't do anything, they elicited some kind of response. I think the spookies that were in the buildings and places we were in, whatever it was, we intrigued them. They're like, we've never seen anything like this. What are these Tennessee boys bringing in here on us? So if not anything, we did get a lot of response from our people. Want to call them traps. I know we called them traps, but they were more just experimental transportation devices. We wanted to call them STD, but the network, they didn't want to go for that too much. Spirit transportation device, and they didn't really care too much for the shortening of that.
I'm a fan of that. Acronym, but I can see why they might have shut that down.
We tried more than once, but it just didn't work.
Oh man, you're getting so many comments. The fret cage was awesome. Doogie, Wendy Williams Gregory says, missed ya and love you from McInerney, Florida.
From Florida. Miss Wendy, yeah, I need to get down there because she said she was going to cook for me at some time. So I'll actually
get cooking.
Well, Miss Wendy, I will be in St. Augustine Friday. Me and Steve gonna call. I can never say his name right. Steve from Ghost Hunters, Porter, Stephanie Burke will all be at the Lighthouse. Actually, this coming up Saturday.
Oh,
yeah, I saw that on your page.
We just had Stephanie Burke on. She's fantastic. Yeah. Todd, our co-founder, just had Steve on, as well as Porter and Stephanie. So it's been such a pleasure talking to you guys.
Yeah.
We have to ask you, the stereotypical questions.
Sure.
Like Lauren always likes to ask, the scariest thing that's ever happened to you, or the place that you want to go to the most that you have not been yet.
Actually, I want to ask, since you've been on TV, what's it like doing the show for the TV versus doing your own thing when the cameras aren't rolling?
It's a lot
more freedom.
No, well, you still have the freedom. It's just you have to be a little more structured, because we have to set up or different shoot times to interview people. You know, you have to get everything from location to location, because some of our locations, you know, if we're lucky, are right next to each other, so we don't have to move that far. But some of them, you know, they could be 30 miles away, 20 miles away. So that's the only big downfall, because you have to get everybody there with the cameras set up, you know, not only our stuff, but also production as well. And it just takes a lot of stuff to prep the areas, keep people from coming in contaminating, because if they see us come in, they want to be there too. And it's kind of hard to shoot anything, as you all know, if you have other people running in and out trying to get in on the investigation.
Yeah, it's harder if you don't have that structure or process, definitely. So,
But yeah, what's the crazy experience that you've ever had?
other than the one in Salem.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have to say, I don't know. There's been a lot. I'd say one of the scariest was when Chris and I were in D Block at